Okay. Morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, William Warren, for becoming a member. How is everyone doing today? Let's see, let's scroll up. Projects in Dad's Garage, thank you for becoming a member. Hi, Ken. Hi, Dunes. Hi, TomTom. Hi, Jeff and Beartastic. Hi, Keith. Hey, Do It. Hey, Bill Brothers. Early start. Sorry about that. So, but had to be done. I didn't want to skip this weekend. So, good morning, Django. Good morning, Colin. Good morning, Jack. Magnus, Andrew. Hey, Jokernut. Hey, Rod. Hey, Keith. Hey, Lars. Hey, Doom, Alexander. I'm just trying to skim. Chat's going quick. Hey, DJ Natty. Finally can attend a weekend stream again. A nice early one, right? A better time for some, a worse for others. Oh, okay. Charlie is done already. You see, it's an early stream, so he actually hasn't been fed yet. So he's expecting to be fed. Hey, Austin, thanks for becoming a member. So we only get a little bit of Charlie. That's good. We can get into the build, be a little more efficient today. Let me let him out, because he really wants out. Okay. Good morning, David. Good morning, Fish. Hey, Benjamin. Hey, Paul. Whew. This is quite early. I'm usually up well before now. Anyway. It's just a compressed time to get ready. So a couple of minutes late, but we're good now, right? It is time for Charlie's breakfast, but someone else will feed him. Okay, so this is the LDO, provided by LDO, Voron 0, their S1 kit, and it's special. So it comes with a lot of updates, upgrades beyond the normal kit. So one of those being the Kirigami bed that we installed last week. The other things are a high wind rail for X, their Pico-Bilical tool head controller board, and what else was there? There's a few other things. Comes with the Revo Voron, that. Hey, James, member for 7 months. Thank you. So, we are doing a giveaway, so let me turn those on and let me get those. So bear with me. I'm going to need to turn them on and get the links into the description. So copy that. And I need to edit the Hey, Poity. Fed the wire crimpers for lunch. He's asleep in puppy jail. Nice. Let me get these descriptions going. It has been a compressed morning, so I appreciate the patience. So here is the link for the V0 S1 upgrades. That is turned on. We have the links for the orbiters. So a collection of parts for V0 S1 is being given away, as well as the 2 orbiter extruders. And new to this stream is a roll of Polymaker filament. And that will be continuing every stream. Isn't that exciting? So let me copy this, and hopefully you folks can let me know if I made any mistakes here. But same thing as any other stream at the 3-hour mark, and I just saved the changes. So in the description are the links for all the giveaways. I just saved it, so giveaway links in the description. Let's pin that. Okay, let's see. I haven't made a live stream in a while. This is definitely a better time. Mark, welcome. Hey, Sanity. Yes, so I've met Nick in person, and the guy is super excited and super nice. I was glad to be part of that. So they're giving away 1 roll of filament. There are some restrictions that apply, but you basically go out to their website and pick an SKU. What'll happen is I will email you a form to the winner after the stream, and then you'll fill out that form. I'll fill out my counterpart to that form, and you'll be able to pick what you want. So I was watching one of your past builds yesterday. You were greasing. Hey, Mr. V8 Rick. Hey, Andrew. Where's the guy that won the second time? Rick B. We'll see how lucky if they're here. Good morning, John. Good morning, Sven. Hey, BBs. Let me let Charlie in real quick. He's going to be in and out because he's going to be insisting on being fed because, yep. So this is what he will be coming in and out. Maybe I said that loud enough that maybe my wife will hear, and we'll get to feeding him. Okay, I think they're set up. So does everybody see the links in the description? Do they seem to work? Any new updates on the crazy DuPont crimper front? Yes, there are updates. I don't want to cover those today though. We'll be covering updates on my crimper saga. Probably right after Christmas. I'm gonna hopefully resuming the Tridex build. Unfortunately, it'll have to be the New Year's Day stream. I won't be streaming on Christmas Day, but so. Jesus, you may need to reboot or reload. Yes, YouTube display name is what appears here in chat. So, hey Mitchell. If no links, refresh, yeah. So, there is an individual entry for everything. So, the V0 S1 Upgrade parts, the Orbiter extruders, and there's 2 of those will be given away, and the Polymaker Roll of filament. For all of them, you must be present to win. But I do it at the 3-hour mark. So it will be in 2 hours and 50 minutes from now. Hi, William. Hey, John. Polymaker link is a 404. What? Can anybody else confirm a 404 error on the Polymaker link? I've got entries. I've got entries on all of them. So I'm not sure what's going on there. The link's got to be good if I have entries. Hey, Stefan. No Christmas stream. I will not be available. I got a blank screen for a few seconds, then I went to the entry, so it did work. Okay. Okay, so I made, let's see. Let me make sure that we've covered what's included in the S1, in the upgrades. So a Kirigami bed, the X-Rail, the Highwind X-Rail. What is that? Let me double check what was included in there. Oh. Oh, that's not what I wanted. So the Highwind Linear X-Rail, the Pico Bilical controller, the Polymide heater, and the Kirigami bed is included in the S1 stuff. So if it's not working, refresh. That's what I'm seeing in chat. Adrian, thanks for becoming a member. Let me let Charlie out again, because this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be a thing. Hopefully somebody can feed him soon. If it goes one more round, I may just go feed him. Hey, Killer Prince, happy Sunday. The Revo is not included in the giveaway, but the Revo is included in the kit. The custom heatsink Revo Voron. It's just not in the giveaway. I believe for most things, LDO starts releasing the individual parts at some point. So I just don't know when that will be. Okay. Hey, Doom Paints, thanks for becoming a member. I like your icon, your avatar icon. Charlie needs to be happy before you begin. Do you need a V0.1 kit for the S1 upgrade giveaway, or is that standalone for everyone? That's standalone for everybody. I mean, all you need is a couple of parts to begin a new printer build, right? So maybe this is the beginning of someone's V0 build. Bill Brothers, thanks for gifting the memberships. How's the weather been? It's been pouring in SoCal all morning. It was pouring all day yesterday. It was awesome. I went for a little short walk to the mailbox a couple of times in the rain. It was nice. When I was running a lot, I really enjoyed running in the rain. So, oh. Revo with one nozzle. I believe the kit is going to come with two nozzles, a 0.6 and a 0.4, but I'm not sure on that one. Hey, Matt Lamb. Happy stream. Want to build it, but don't need. Well, do we need any of these? The kit doesn't come with the input shaper kit or the clicky. Do you recommend them? Clicky, not required for V0. However, the input shaper, the Pico Billicle has an input shaper, the ADXL built in with a cable. So that's kind of cool. We'll go over that when we install it. So. Okay, so off stream, I did a little bit of work. So check this out. I did some engraving with the laser. This matte acrylic that comes with in the LDO kits takes and engraves so well. Isn't that cool? That's, I mean, and it is durable. It doesn't mark. You can barely even feel that it's there. But check that out. That was on the Auteur LaserMaster 3 that I showed on stream a couple of months ago. That was at 7,500 millimeters per minute and 50% power is where I did a few tests, and that's what that came to. So I did that off stream. Hey, Mr. Jada. So I did this on my other, one of my other V0s, but it's got test parts for V0.2 on it. So it hasn't been shown much, but it just looks so good. You could do all kinds of stuff. You could do the big Voron logo. You could do a pattern. That would be cool. So there is a little bit of friction to the bed, especially when I move it from the top, it gets a little jammed up, but it's feeling pretty good. For the speed that this is going, it's smooth. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I could probably spend a lot more time tweaking these brackets to make that a little better, but I'm pretty comfortable with where it is. Adjust your rails until it falls under its own rate. It does, basically, see? It's slow, but it does fall under its own weight. See, it's really close. I don't think it's worth the time. See, that's falling under its own weight. This is not my first V0. This is my 5th V0 build, not including rebuilds. Can I send you my LDO switchwire bed panels and have you do that on it? How do you end up enclosing the new laser? To be honest, I haven't yet. I wore the glasses the entire time. I was in the other garage, door closed. It was just a quick engrave. I haven't used it much because I haven't had time to build the enclosure that fits it. So just to be honest, but I wore my glasses the whole time and didn't have anybody else in the area. So, hey, Custom Creations. More lube. Less lube would make it fall quicker. LOS. Hey, Vladimir, your test worked. So, like I said, this could go a little smoother. I'm comfortable with it as it is. Knowing, having built enough V0s, I think it'll be fine. So, it is smooth. It's not binding. And when these rails are binding, you can feel it when they're actually binding. Hey, Palfest. You're gonna mod this V0 after finishing it like your other builds? I will be updating it to so this is being built as V0.1. It will get updated to V0.2 when those parts release. Does Charlie use protective glasses too? He doesn't go in the other garage. So he doesn't even know it exists, the other garage. He never goes to that part of the house. Would a keyback be an advantage? Not on a V0, not at all. Do you lube the Teflon coated lead screws? No. Build volume on this is 120 millimeter cubed, about. So the other thing I did on stream, Chris Steele, thanks for becoming a member. The other thing I did on stream is I basically rebuilt the whole thing, because last stream I was talking about hex nuts versus these cool post-install square nuts that this kit comes with. And I used hex nuts for most things because I didn't realize that 100 of these slide-in nuts is basically enough for the whole printer, especially if you use hex nuts for things like the rail stops. But these post-install square nuts, let's see if I can get a focus here. Oh, they're very, here, let me maybe get some tweezers to hold it. So these post-install square nuts, they have a chamfer on the bottom. You see those chamfers? This allows them to drop into, and I'm not gonna do it on that extrusion. I'm gonna, because I don't wanna deal with having to get it out. But if you drop this on with the chamfers parallel to the slot, it will fall right in there. You see that? Now, along with that is a little printed part that LDO came up with. And it's just this little itty bitty part with a chamfer on one side. And if you drop this in as well, and then take some pliers and pull these together, you can get that square nut up on top of that printed part. And then with friction, and I'm not able to see it very well, so let me do this real quick. With friction, you can get that up on top of that printed part, and it'll basically stay in place, and you've got a nice post-install nut solution for 1515 extrusions. Now, it only works with the LDO extrusions, maybe the Masumi, but it does not work with the Maker Beam extrusions. They're 1515. Yeah, Steve, you need to be careful with Charlie's eyes for CAT scans of your build. Let's see. I may forgetting to put nuts in, far less traumatic. Where can I buy those? I'm guessing that'll be another thing that'll come out standalone soon. So I went through the whole printer and replaced all of those. So now those, you see, they don't move around. So that will make assembly so much nicer. And we'll do several of those because I didn't do all of them. Charlie is bugging me again. So I know everybody's gonna understand. I need about 1 minute. I'm gonna feed him. enjoy dancing Max while I'm doing that. Okay. Was that even a minute? Okay, so tag me if you had a question while I was gone, so I don't spend a bunch of time scrolling through chat, trying to catch up. So, so anyway, these post-install nuts are really cool. They seem to work really well. Just some thin pliers seem to work pretty well. These, I don't even remember where I got these. I think I got these from a local home store years ago. Some tweezers, some stronger tweezers work as well. According to my kids, it was an eternity. Okay, so how are things going? We are getting lots of entries into the giveaway, so those are all working. Music's working. Let's get to the build. Let's get back into the build. So we left off checking all the locations for the pre-installed nuts. So if you don't have these fancy post-install square nuts, be sure that you're paying attention to that. Has anyone got some snow? We very, very, very rarely get snow here. We do occasionally, very rarely. Okay, so we verified that. We're not gonna worry about that. I did. Hey, Scott, welcome. There was a scheduling conflict, so I needed to start early today. We need to be done by noon. So we're gonna get as far as we can today, and then we'll probably have a long stream next weekend to finish up this build, because I wanna finish it before Christmas. I don't want to go into after Christmas. The schedule of builds would be easier if I finish this before Christmas. Okay, we're gonna build the A and B drives. We're gonna start with some heat sets, so let me get my iron heating up. Let's move the printer out of the way. Now these post-install nuts can get jostled out of place, so I'm being kind of careful moving this thing around. But how many in the drawing? We have a couple hundred in each drawing so far. Not quite a couple hundred. Not quite. So around 2 years ago, we had like 4 inches of hail during rush hour traffic. Ew. It was right near, oh yeah. This afternoon streams. Okay, so we have, let's start collecting parts. A and B drive part. And one more. I think that's all we need for this. And a bunch of heat sets. Okay, these are nicely marked, so that's B. And that's A, so this goes over here. That goes there, and that one must go there. That one goes there. Hi, Rogue Phantasm. Hey, Exodus. Okay, and then we have a couple of these. So we have some heat set inserts, and I want to do some quick parts cleanup. So just making sure that our mating surfaces are clear of any little filament stuff. That one's not really a mating surface, but mating and sliding surfaces, just a flat file. None of our prints are perfect, right? So that slides, so I'm doing that. And that should be about it. So now we have some heat sets to apply. What time am I doing the drawing? Hey, Scott, I do the drawing at the 3-hour mark, so we will be at 11:30 Pacific time. And that is about 2.5 hours from now. Hey, PF Dennis. 2.5 hours from now is when the drawing is. So that's my compromise to requiring folks to be here for the drawings, is that I set the time, so you don't have to wonder how long is the stream gonna go. So with a set time, I feel like that's a reasonable compromise for folks to be here. I like to see who wins. I like to be able to have everybody be able to congratulate them, and it just feels better to me. So a few heat sets of these. Now the thing to note on these heat sets is the outer two get installed under flush. So you sink those in a little bit. The middle one is flush because that holds the a panel in between the drives. Hi, Omer. So we'll do both of these. Oops, yep, we'll do both of these. Outer two are under flush. Make sure they're nice and square. Okay, so Charlie is fed and now he's ready to come in. Ready to hit step 2 of his routine. Let me let him in real quick. Hey, Hex Potato. Hope I'm back from the store by then. I got to get ready for Las Vegas work conference. Oh, have fun. Is EPA HTCF okay to use for main parts on a 2.4 build? Any nylon I'd stay away from. Nylon creeps. I missed James Christie member buy. I did. Thank you, James, for gifting memberships. I did miss that. Thank you. I appreciate the reminder. Hey, Steve. I have to redo my A and B drives on mine, printed in Sparta as well, and noticed some cracks in them this week. Interesting. An idler broke a few weeks ago as well. Not sure how the ABS Plus is going to hold up long term. I have not noticed. I'll look, but I haven't noticed any problems with the printers I've used this filament on. Hey, Johnny Boy Tech. Boron Tap has improved UX so much I don't care about thermal expansion anymore. I honestly am very happy with Tap. I've been running the 2 printers that I've been using most for this and some other builds are both running Tap, the V2 that I installed on stream, and then my Trident. And I have honestly spent almost no time tweaking first layers on those. I set it, I check it, and I haven't had to mess with it. So I am honestly very pleased with the setup. Hey, Nelson. Okay, so those are, the outer two are under flush, the center one's flush, and then these pieces get a heat set in the back, and this is to install the panels. This is an anchor point for the panel clips. So, heat set here and here. When will tap be available for switch wire? The switch wire bed is a little too compliant on the edges. It flexes too much. Even with a super rigid center rail, it tends to flex a little much under the pressure that tap requires. So that question is a good one, and I don't know. It's being looked at though. Still getting 0.001. I don't know. I don't really care. I haven't had to check it because the first layer has been fine, is the bottom line. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Kenneth. Yeah, I had to do early stream because there was a scheduling conflict. Hey, TDA. Okay, so we installed the heat sets, and then we're gonna match up the tensioners with the parts and start building some bearing stacks. So leave that there and then move back over to here. So B with B. See, those are both labeled B. So go in there and we can thread on. That can stay right there, and that's fine. Convert switch wire to dual outside rails for tap. There's a whole lot of considerations with that, Benjamin. When you start adding MGN carriages and multiple attachment points, you quickly over-constrain the part. So, okay, motion, tool head and motion. I'm guessing the bearings are in here. What's going to be the next radio-controlled build? That's a good question. Nero really has me feeling an FPV something would be fun, but I don't know. I don't have anything. I'd be starting from scratch. Okay, so bearings are there. Let's leave the rest of this in here. And fasteners. Gonna need some washers / shims. There's our Highwind X rail. Set that aside, and here's our washers / shims. And we need some printed spacers. We'll need 2, I believe, of these printed spacers. These little round spacers. You also had more chances of weak links. I don't know quite what that means. I'm more concerned about over-constraining it and having an easy builder path that's difficult to line up multiple carriages and rails. Radio-controlled Charlie door. FPV Depth Racer would be fun. Greg's Maker Corner did some work on that. That purple looks really good. Yeah, I'm very pleased with, you can see here that color combination, that black and purple and space gray. Very pleased I went with that. It's gonna look good. This is Sparta 3D Sparkle Mist Purple. So, okay, let's get a set of the bearings out. And we are going to need M3 by 35. Is that what these are that I already pulled out? Yep, those are M3 by 35. So we're gonna put one in the end here. And which one is this? This is this one. So this is I put the thing on. This is the A drive. And we are going to kind of hold this in place, kind of at an angle with my thumb so it doesn't fall through, and start building the printer stack. So 2 bearings, flange outwards, like that, and then 2 washers, and then 2 more bearings with the flanges outward, and 1 more washer. And you end up with something like that. Washer, bearing, bearing, washer, washer, bearing, bearing, washer. Then another bolt here, that one can sit there. Then this one gets a spacer first. And a washer. Then 2 bearings. X Potato, thanks for becoming a member. Sparta was sold out of ASA last week, all but red sparkle. My current V0 is that purple, space gray, and sparkle black. Yeah, I'm using the Obsidian black from Sparta 3D for the black on this. Okay, so then this is spacer, washer, 2 bearings, and then a washer. And then all of this can go right on here. And then we're going to get 2, so if we come back here, so this is what we just did. Those are 3x35s, and then put that together. And then we have 2 M3x30s, which I think is this next one. Yeah. Spacers, yes. Ivan Miranda is one of my favorite channels. He's the Spacers guy. What time will the giveaway be? 11:30 Pacific. So that's a little under 2.5 hours from now. Writing a paper on how Ohm's law is incorporated in space heaters for my physics class. Anyone have any good tips? I do not. I'm somewhat familiar with Ohm's law, but it's been a very long time. Know the very basics, but probably nothing you don't already know. Let's do this. There we go. Make sure these are all the printed parts line up. Hey, Mikhail. Has LDO brought back that beautiful orange color? I don't think so. I mean, the best thing you can do is just give them feedback that you'd like it. Don't print those spacers in polycarbonate. Mine cracked like a mofo within maybe 50 hours. Yeah, especially if any oil from the bearings gets on them, polycarbonate will get very brittle and crack. What do you think about Ivan's new brick system? I think it's awesome. I had the same idea that he eventually came to as I was watching that video, is why not just line them up? There was some other idea I had on it too, but I forgot. I did start earlier, Bruno. I had to. The scheduling conflict, so. Okay, second one. D drive. No, we gotta put a stepper on here, actually. We're gonna use 3 M3x35s and a stepper. I was watching an old stream. Oh, I'm hoping LDO brings back the orange for a 0.2 upgrade kit. Me too, although I don't have a V0, an orange V0. Okay, we gotta grab the steppers. Where are they? Eco-umbilical, electronics and wiring. Where are the steppers? Gold plate and parts. Oh, motor kit. B and B. Motor kit. Oh. Jose, there's a Boron Owners Club event going on. So I'm gonna let Charlie out. And we'll just pull all of this out of here. I don't need much of it, but what did I miss? I think everybody was watching Ivan thought that moment. Line them up. Yes. There was some other thing I had, a suggestion I had. I don't remember what it was though. It's not super important. So we have two steppers. Are the leads the same length? Yes, they are. So it doesn't matter which one I use. So this, we're gonna put the motion system, put a pulley on there, and where are the grub screws? There they are. Grub screws. I think. Oh, the correct grub screws. Those motors look so big. Yeah, these are the 52 millimeter motors. Okay, and then LDO pre-applies thread locker to the grub screws. They want to know what country Ivan is in. I believe Spain. He's in Spain, right? Did he use chamfers and the bridged hole thing enough, or heat inserts? I don't know. Hey, Sean. Gary, thanks for the gift of membership. Okay. So the way that this goes on is like this for the A drive, and then the top of this flange to the surface of the stepper is 8.5 millimeters. So I'm gonna very loosely tighten this on there, and then I'm going to just do a very basic check here because I always line these up final on the printer. So that'll be somewhere around there. 8.5 millimeters, that's pretty close. So I'm not even gonna tighten this other one yet. I'm gonna do all that on printer or on the assembly. Hey, Stephen. So just a reminder for everybody who's coming in, there are links in the description for 3 giveaways today. We've got 1 set of S1 Upgrade parts, 2 Orbiter extruders, and a roll of Polymaker filament. Let me let Charlie in. Hi, Charlie. Oh, come on. Okay. You make a bumper around your assembly pad to corral those tiny parts from escaping to the floor. My surface here is pretty level. Things don't tend to roll off. Jason, hey Jason, welcome. I did have a good birthday. Thank you for asking. How come we don't have a jig for aligning the pulleys like on the Trident and the 2.4? We will. I modeled that just the other day. I modeled one of those, so it's coming. Yeah, Steve, if by sponsored, I'm allowed to give away a spool of filament. I have not received anything from Polymaker, but Polymaker is good. Nick is a good guy. I'm very pleased to be able to do this. Jason, good morning, everyone. Big day today. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so this is going to go on the back of the printer like this. So I want the wires to go in, and then we're going to use some 35mm screws through the tensioner and into the top of the stepper. And we're not worrying about tightening these. We're just screwing them into bottomed out. Risetco, thank you for becoming a member. Thanks, DJ Johnny. Appreciate that. We need white frames and kirigami beds. Hey, Jared, welcome. Okay, so here is the basic A drive module. Now I told you I like to line up that pulley once it's on here. So I sight through here and then turn this until I can get to that grub screw, and I can adjust this to be lined up with these two bearing stacks. You've been here for about 30 minutes now? Oh, I missed it. It still doesn't change that I'm welcoming you to the stream. And that is, maybe it needs to go up just a hair. So I am going to turn this around to the flat side grub screw, and I'm going to reach in here, and I'm going to loosen that and move that up just a hair. And then just kind of line that up, and I'm going to call that good right there. Now I'm going to tighten both of these right through the okay. So now that is lined up and we are good to go. So A drive is done. I ordered my wife some custom chucks direct from Converse, and it took them 2 hours to confirm the order. Yeah, I have a lot of holiday shopping I still need to do. I've done some. I need to do a lot more. Run a belt and let the belt align it. I can see fine. You can see that being lined up, so it's a lot more work to pull out the belts and do that. Okay, back to the instructions. That is done. And A drive, this is talking about making sure it's lined up, and this is the view you're looking for. What are those drivers? Are they Aeromax? I have a selection of different drivers from the RC car days. Hey, Dury. How many orders would it take to get a batch of orange frames made? Are you still here, Jason? Apparently legacy parts are now in the country. I always question if it would be faster to go myself or wait for actual delivery. Hey, Daniel. And then we're on to the B drive. So bearing stack on the B drive. So we're gonna grab this, a couple of these, and then this one is same there, bearing. I've recently watched back your ERCF streams, and I was wondering if you still use it and any tips for when my kit arrives. I have not used it. I'm very much in the building. However, I do have a bunch of the correct color filament to do those full color lithophanes, and that's my motivation to work on it again. but as most things, I tend to enjoy the build and then move on. For stuff like that anyway. Okay, and then this side gets the bearings first before the spacer. I have to check maybe 20 to 30 depending on the size. So those two, and then another washer, and then the spacer. And that's our bearing stack for the B drive. And then, oops, I lost it. I wasn't paying attention. There. Oops. Let's see. Gotta redo it. We'll let reseller know our stock to see if they will take some to their store. There, and then the washer. Now, if I hold this, so make sure I'm all good. And right like that. And then we can grab the two 30mm screws, hold it in over here. Lost my bearings, lost my marbles. Ooh, what happened there? Okay. We are good. So now we have the next stepper and pulley. Without giving an actual time frame, would it be a waste to print replacement V0.1 parts for a printer that has been sitting broken for 3 months? Or is, I think if I was contemplating rebuilding a V0 right now, and it was an extra printer, if you were just wanting to do it because you're building something, I would wait. That's not giving any promises on timelines, but if you didn't actually need the printer, I would wait. Okay, so now, according to the instructions, there went one grub screw. Where? I have both of them here. 17.5mm, and the pulley gets installed the other way. It's raining there, looks like it's about to start down here. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. So once again, I'm going to put this on here and then take an estimate just with my scale here of 17.5mm to get it close, and then I'll fine tune it on the printer. So right about there. So that's from this surface here on right here to the top of the stepper. And then this goes on the back of the printer that way, so wire going that way. And just touching. We're not tightening these yet. So like Steve's saying, I honestly, I don't think Christmas is realistic, but it's getting close. It is getting close. So then we're gonna sight along here, and I'm gonna realize that that's pretty dead on. So I'm good. So now I'm gonna just sneak in the side here and tighten the there we go. So that's lined up, everything's there, and the second drive module is done. Let me put these washers slash shims away before I lose them. Need those later. Looks like Charlie is trying to get over here, so I'll give him a better parkour path. How is that Mellow controller board working out? I haven't used one yet. So we installed one in Tridex and we flashed firmware to it, but we have not used it. Isn't the main difference between the 52 versus the 48 V0 motors that the 50 have way less VFA? I know the purpose of them is to try to reduce that. I think you're right. Charlie is now fed, so now he wants his proper attention. Yes, 2 hours until the giveaway. So link is in the descriptions. Check it out. We'll be drawing in 2 hours. Shim by my glasses. Is there? I don't see one. Oh, by the ruler. Oh, yep, there we are. Thank you. Yes, Charlie. Just northeast. I think we're good now. Let's see another. Okay, where are we at next? Let's keep going. Multitask. Pet Charlie and build. Pets and builds. Oh, and he's knocking things. He's doing the cat thing now. He's knocking things off the bench. Okay, so we installed the stepper. And we checked to make sure it was aligned. And now we can install these on the frame. So, AR, uh-oh. Hair filled back in. Oh yeah, he's completely all back. It's almost a year since he had his surgery. It'll be Christmas time is when he had his surgery. Okay, so we're gonna do this apparently for a few minutes. Okay, so we are gonna install those with M3x35s. There's 4 of them across there, and that's what we're going to get to next. Let's see how well I can do this with a cat. So this goes right there. So the idea being is you can hold this off to the side and line all those nuts up, and then do the same on the other side and line those up. And I think I'm pretty close. So let's find out. Let's see how well this one lines up to that. There we go. That is in there. And then we'll need 3 across here. And let's see how well they line up. Or 4 across here. That one, that one, that one, and oh. That one should line up. Yeah. There we go. Feel along the edges, make sure things are good, and then this one goes into the top of the extrusion. And then I'm just gonna snug all of these down. They don't have to be super tight. Okay, so that is the B drive on. And we have the A drive, so same thing. We're going to see if those line up, and then see if those line up, and it looks like I got them all pretty lined up. So that goes there. That goes there. Make sure everything is square to the frame as you're tightening these down. My pet birds don't even sit on my shoulders that well. Yeah. Charlie is unique. Hey, Domenico. Took me so long to find a catapult. What do we got? Carl had a question? Did I miss a question? Only thing that is a bit tight on a V0 is a stealth burner. Yeah, and I've printed a few stealth burner fan fronts on a V0, and it still fits. So it's mostly your left side he crawls up. Yeah, I mean he's chilling now. He's fine. Okay, so those are on. Now we get to the next step. Okay, front idlers. So we get to build some more bearing stacks. And so let's give Charlie some good pets and then set him down on his pillow and see if he'll stay there. There we go. Okay, got plenty of hair on my black shirt. So we are good. Let's set this over here and then collect a bunch of parts. Hey, Nathan. Parts. Two more of those and one more piece. Where is it? Ah, there it is. Okay, there is our front idlers. Hey, Dr. Ronnie. Hey, Alex. And let's do this. I'll give Charlie a little bit of time here. He's grooming. What's that shirt for? It's my Voron design shirt that we got from Murph last year. Hey Steve, do you know if V0.2 will be compatible with the LGX Lite and Revo Voron extruder combo? Any non-mini stealth burner extruders are going to be a mod. So if somebody makes it compatible with LGX Lite, then it'll be in the mod community, which is good. I mean, that's where it should be. But you might have to wait a little bit for someone to adapt that unless they already have. There's a beta test group, so I don't know what all has been going on in there. Looks like you're modeling a fur on the runway. Yeah. Hey, Turning Power from Denmark. I got a Filaments kit that includes wire wrap, the cables, and is already pretty tight in the cable chain. What do people suggest? Add the wrap or skip it. Skip it through the cable chains. Don't run wrap along with your wires in the cable chains on any of those. Was looking for a 1.8 to Trident frame modification guide, but didn't find it in the Trident GitHub. Check the previous release on there. It should still be out there, but it might be in the previous release. What did I miss something? I missed something. That's okay. I don't mind. Let's clean up these parts. An extrusion will sit down against that spot, so I want that clean. There's a surface here that mates up against another. Same here. And here. That's it. Let's wipe off the excesses, and then we need bearings and washers. Did I use up all the bearings from the last thing? Yep, looks like it. All the cat puns. Oh, what's that shirt for? I did miss it. You know, you gotta admit, your all's spelling on here can be a little questionable, right? So I just kind of gloss over the spelling mistakes. Can ASA be used as alternative to those ABS pieces? Absolutely. ASA is a perfectly acceptable filament for building these. So we are going to build these bearing stacks right here. So we're going to do them both, and then we'll get it set to put on the printer. So all the bearing stacks are M3 by 35s through this front hole. And then it's the same washer, bearing, bearing, washer. Hey, Battalion. How to find your modification for cable management on Trident. Not sure where I can find your GitHub. Which cable management? Most of my Voron mods are on the Voron users GitHub under my username. STVPTRSN. I'm starting to put stuff on my own GitHub, and then I'll build them there and then migrate them over to the other one. But there's one, and then one more. So there, and then bearing. Did I pull exactly the right number of bearings out of there? Nice. There. And then the short one goes here, just like that. And then there's another screw. So those are that. And then, oh, M3 by 35s on both. Okay. So that's one set. And then the other set is this. And then an M3 by 35 here. So that's those two. We're not going to need these yet. We need those for the XY joints. I don't know why I brought those out. So let's move these. Put our washers back in the baggie. Yeah, don't knock it. That's so annoying, that bug. Put a space at the end. End it with a space and it comes up okay. Mr. Tweaks would sit on my shoulder and I didn't have to hold him. He was 18 when he died and I just can't bring myself to get another cat. Yeah. Charlie he'll be 16 in June, so he's 15 and a half. Okay, then we are, okay, so right here, it says to preload 4 M3 nuts. Now, using these post-install square nuts, we could not worry about that. And we could put those in later, or we could put 4 hex nuts in here. But what I'm going to do is skip a little bit ahead in the manual, and I'm gonna install the parts that are gonna go here. Because if I can, in a few spots, if I can use hex nuts instead of those post-install nuts, that'll give me a collection of these later for anything I might want to add. So like the rail stops, I used the hex nuts. I left the hex nuts in there. So I'm gonna install these door stops, which is what's gonna go here, which is what's gonna go right here. I'm gonna install these, install the magnets in there, and install those with hex nuts, because that's out of the way. There's no reason not to, and that'll give me 4 extra of these to use later or to have on hand. So I'll find the other one, and then I have some magnets. Hey Justin, what belt size runs on those tiny bearings? It's the same 6mm belts. Hey Maurice from the Netherlands. Don't flame me, but I can't seem to find the button to become a member. I see the super chat and super sticker. I'm not super familiar with where it might be. Someone else might be able to say. I'm not super familiar with the different interfaces. Are you on mobile? I hear it can be a little different depending on what device you're on. Okay, so magnets. And we are going to be using, what are these? M3x6s or M3x8s? I think it's M3x8s. Yeah, so an M3x8, and then I'm just gonna put just start to thread on. So start to thread that on, and then I'm gonna grab my magnets and just kind of throw these all in the same orientation. That way everything will line up next time. So now this is gonna go in here, and I can just just snug those, not really tight, just to keep it in place. We'll line those up later. Okay, so that's one, and then we'll stick this here so we know we're in the same orientation as the other one. I probably should have put the screws in first, but I can hold all this in place. So my Trident kit is on the way, and I bought the SB2040 can toolhead PCB to go with it and tap kit. I hope you get back to the can on Trident soon, because I'll need guidelines. So Polar Ted, a viewer here, has been working on a really good guide for the SB2040, and I used it when I was installing one of those in my purple Trident. So if you can find that guide, if Polar Ted is here, or if someone wants to link that to me in Discord, I can paste it, but that is where I would start. Carl Flippin, thanks for becoming a member. Mitchell, can you still watch the VOC stream even if you didn't sign up? Yes. Yes. If you have access to the link, yes. Okay. So that all we did there is take a little detour so I can save some of those post-install square nuts by pre-installing the door latch magnets. So I'm gonna put these back in the little baggie and back in the tool box. So now we are going to, so the way you can tell, these have a very obvious difference in the stack up, but the way you can tell which side it goes on is this chamfer goes to the inside. So this will go here, and this one will go there. And see, that chamfer is pointing to the inside. Hey, Polar Ted. Did you hear what I was just saying? Thanks, Chris. I like the color combo too. Hey, more crit. Can't watch until I see you hit like. Where are we at here? Almost 300 people, awesome. I did mess up by changing the time, but it is what it is. We'll have a big long stream next week. Hey, Jack. Is the 2040 that much better than the EBB 36? I ordered EBB 36, but I was wondering if I should switch. It's just form factor. Bigger thing is form factor. Are you kidding? 3 months, thank you. Okay, so this is here. So now I'm gonna line up that post-install nut with that, and then put it on here. Nope, I missed it. I got knocked out of the way. Thread that on. There we go. And then line up the front. The front one just threads into the end of the extrusion. So there's one side done. What about the people who don't know anything about Reddit? I don't know when I'll tackle the serial number request. It's not, I mean, if it's not too bad. If you go out to Reddit and just sign up and go in, it's pretty self-explanatory. I did a serial request recently for the solid fork. Polar Ted, you sent me a link. Let me copy that and paste it into chat. So for the person asking about the SB2040, this is the guide that Polar Ted's been working on for the SB2040 setup. What's the difference between a 24 volt and 5 volt tap? The voltage tolerance. You have to pay more attention on the 5 volt to where you're hooking it up. The 24 volt one is both 5 volt and 24 volt tolerant. Yep. Most boards as well if you're using a tool head board. Okay, so that, and then we're just gonna make sure that make sure this front is flush. Just kind of tweak that in place. And tighten those down. We got the idlers done. Got info that 2040 cannot work with Orbiter 2.0 and I bought both. I'm not sure. Does your screwdriver have interchangeable ends? What's the brand? This screwdriver, no. This is just a generic, I don't know, RD Logistics that I've had for years and years. It's just a 2mm ball end with a nice long shank. The other ones you've seen me use are the MIP drivers. These are really nice. And then I have my ES15 when I remember to use it. Okay, so we would have preloaded those M3 nuts. Otherwise, instead, we just installed the parts. Install the idlers. And then making sure that the idler, so what this is saying is, if you look at this, this is in the lower position. The two bearings here are in the lower position. So this is your belt path across here. And then same on the other side. So in the upper position here, and on this side, the two bearings are in the upper position. Okay, looks like Z. Okay, so now we are getting to a point where we deviate from the manual a little bit because this kit comes with the Pico or the Kirigami bed setup. Dr. Lorenz is designing a tool head board for Orbiter. Hope it will be available middle of next year. Awesome. Thanks for that, Jason. So we are going to switch over to another tab here and go to the docs.ldomotors.com. If we go to docs.ldomotors.com, and we'll go to the Voron tab and the 0.1 kit, and there is a Kirigami installation guide here. So upper position on one side and lower on the other. Absolutely, that's correct. So this is the installation guide is a little work in progress, but the key parts that we need are here, and that's like the cable chain, which the floppy end or the rigid end where it goes, which we looked at last stream. So we started that last stream. And there's extra parts. And what else do we have to do here? There's not anything here that we have to worry about. Okay, So let's go back to the, oops. Let's go back to the regular documentation. We should have, so we have steppers, and then we need an M3x12 that's gonna go into the top of this, to the nut holder to trigger the Z end stop. Oh, hey, Dutch dude. How you doing? M3x12. M3x10. M3x12. Oops. Let's turn this around this way, and I might be able to get a little better angle on it. At least visual. There we go. So I'm just installing the, you see the end stop trigger screw. And right to there. Okay. And we're gonna grab our Z lead screw motor. Doing good now. Broke my bathroom sink with a perfume bottle. Ouch. My 2-year-old is invested in the stream. It's awesome. Thank you, Steve Builds, for such good content that the baby can enjoy. Awesome. I will give your 2-year-old something extra to watch here now that Charlie is done with his business. There we go. Time for some more coffee. Hey, that's a good idea. Okay. That M3x12 is in. And then the lead screw, we're gonna prep it with a printed part. So these out of here, maybe here. And we're gonna use an M3x6 and M3x8s to attach that. And is there any documentation here with orientation of the, so we're gonna switch over to the V0 S1 wiring guide. Oh, that's a parts guide. I wanna go to the wiring guide. I'm on to coffee stout. Come on, Keith. It's barely 1 o'clock there. Okay, so we'll return to this, but what I'm aiming for here is the connector orientation. You see that? The connector orientation for the Z stepper here. And it looks like it's going to the back left of the printer. As soon as you put Charlie on screen, she ran over and pointed and said, "Kitty, awesome." Okay, so if this goes right, like, and I'm going to visualize this a little better here. So if that's going like that, that means that this goes on here like that. But before I do that, I want to do just a little bit of cleanup here, because that's a surface that's registered against the extrusions, so right along there. And that's the only one I need to worry about there. So if this goes like that, this goes on here, right like that. We get a M3x6 in this spot. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. And 2 M3x8s for the other two. Okay. So that's on there. Look at that purple. So orientation is correct. Where were we? Oh, and then it wants to preload a bunch more nuts. We're not going to worry about it, but pay attention to this if you don't have those post-install square nuts. Okay, let's put the feet on. We're going to put the feet on, and then we'll put the Z stepper mount in, and that'll help everything set. It doesn't sit on the desk well if you don't do that. So I think I can turn this on its end, and let's go out a bit so we can see, and we'll start grabbing all of our feet. We got one more here. There we are. There we are. All of our feet. And I'll do the same thing. Just do a little cleanup on the bottom of these. And where are the actual feet? Full head in motion. Is that where they are? I'm looking for the rubber feet for this. All-in-one printer configure, split in macros. Click in configure not included. I'm not sure where that is. Does those lead screw need to be lubed, or is Teflon coat? The Teflon coat is enough. I'm having Stu build to make and install one to stream shortly before they're ready, so keep tuning in and eventually. Oh, are we talking about your other project? Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Okay, frame, PCB, origami bed mount, electronics and wirings. Where are the feet? Oh, there they are. Feet. What material for feet? These are purchased feet, but I have printed these in TPU and they turn out just fine. So we need some M3x40 screws here. Okay, front of the printer, get these. So front of the printer. Just working on your Trident. That's a good thing to do. Hey, Chris. Hey, John. Okay, I think this one goes over here. Yeah. This is the little filament holder on this one. I mean, include all macros in the printer config and clipper, or split it into separate. I end up splitting some of the things that make sense, like clicky macros, like I'll probably have a separate config for the picobilical on this, a separate file. Okay, so those feet are on now. And now we can get ready to install the stepper. Oh, what did I miss? Okay. And M3x8 button heads, but they need to go, so they need to go here. So we need to get a couple of these post-install nuts. So we're gonna do 2 of those. Is that an ABS or ACM bottom panel? It's neither. It's acrylic, and it's a matte. It's cast matte acrylic. We need 2 of these little pieces. So once again, these T-nuts have a chamfer, and it's very, you can kind of see the chamfer on this edges that way. You install these, you set these in there after you drop it on the table. You set it to where the chamfer is parallel with the slot, and it will drop right in. And then these printed parts have a chamfer on them, and those drop in to the side. Same thing, like that. Now, there is a video. Let me see if I can find that video. There is a video that LDO has provided. Maybe here, under the printed parts guide. And there is a no drop nut mod. This is totally optional. The mod provides a way to place and position nuts within the, is that it? Or is it? No, this is different. This is different. This is a different thing. This no drop is, I think I saw you had a 2.4 with a horizontal Z chain. Where can I find that mod? I don't have a 2.4 with a horizontal Z chain. All of mine are vertical. There is, where was that? I saw a video from LDO. Slide in nuts, here we go. This video here. So slide in nuts, our kit now includes 100 slide in M3 nuts that will work with these printed supports, and that's a little printed support I put in there. Use them when you forget to preload or need to install a new mod. Check out how to install them in this video. So if we go here, here's a video. And why don't we just play this? This is the video we're watching. So those go in there. I tried an LDO kit in Norway is $1,800, so I bought a cheaper kit on LE for around $600. Now I plan on upgrading some parts to LDO. What do you recommend? LDO steppers and rails? I don't know what your kit came with, so I don't know what to recommend. So then you see how they're moving that square nut up on top of that printed piece, and that just kind of helps hold it in place. It makes it so far has made the install so much nicer. So, and they're just going to go through it again, so we don't need to watch that twice. Go back, and we are going to do the same thing, except I'm going to use my pliers here and get that up on top, and then push it the rest of the way on. Position that about where I think it's going to need to be, and the same thing. Something like that. So when this goes on, which we need the T-nut. I will go on record as saying I do not prefer anti-backlash nuts on these, but this is what comes in the kit, so we're going to use it. We are going to install this by first threading this on just a couple of threads, put the spring on, and then compress this, and then thread it the rest of the way on. So, and then the manual says to put this on the nut on the bed first. I don't do that. I put it onto the stepper first. I think it's easier. And then this should slide down, set right here, and we can place those. We can just set this here and place the nuts in the right spot. These post-install nuts. And then this side, looks like they go right to the inside. Now I had already put these in place, so. Can go right there. I ended up removing my backlash nuts. I haven't seen any ill effects. The only concern I have with just removing it is I would replace the nut. There's not a lot of threads there compared to, I think, a regular nut. So I'm gonna install what came with this because it's fine. I just prefer, I have a preference for not using the anti-backlash nuts. I'm just lining these up. Okay. Hey, Maker Source. M3x8s there, and then M3x8s from the front. So. Maybe I can move this way and then I can actually see. I'm gonna thread this in just enough so that I can still move things around, and then we'll center it and tighten it up. There we go. And then from the front. Hey, Danny. What do you use instead of the ABL nut? Just a regular lead screw nut without a spring. Okay, so now those are all threaded in just a little bit, and we can center that in the part. And then we'll double check when we turn it around and the bed is down against the. Okay, so that goes down there, and we can move this all the way to the bottom to make sure that it's centered in the nut on the bed assembly. Why not use the backlash nut? Because it can add extra wear, and it's not needed. Gravity is your friend. It takes up extra space. It's not a big deal on the V0, but on other printers it might be a bigger deal. Flight canceled. Uh-oh. Well, I'm glad you're here. Are you going to put on the electronics back panel or leave it open for more airflow? I'll be putting on the back panel. I will be putting on the back panel. Okay, so that is not quite centered. So I'm gonna move I'm gonna turn this back over, or maybe I can get into it from here. I'm gonna loosen these. And maybe set it on its front. Yeah, that'll work. Then I can see it. And I'm going to shift it back and forth here. I'm gonna shift it just a hair this way, because I want that centered in the nut there. So I'm just gonna center that. That's centered. And then retighten the front ones, which I can get to my ball end driver. There. Oh, and it is not. Let me try that again. Okay, now I know what I did wrong. I was not looking at it at a good angle. There we go. That is much better. Just fine-tuning the side-to-side position of that Z stepper mount such that it is centered on the part on the bed. Hey, Troy. Oh, focus is on my head. Sorry about that. So making sure that that is centered on the nut piece here. Shift it just a hair. Ooh, there's not as much hair as there used to be. Okay. Back here, there was some instructions for the anti-backflash nut in here. They want us to use M3x12s. Now, is this threaded? Is it M3x12 straight into the... Yeah, it is. Okay. So the M3x12s, where did those go? Do I have them out here? M3x12s. My ball head driver. So these are going to go in here. And then these get tightened just to touching. Just to touching. There. And that'll allow a little bit of movement. Not as critical as on Trident because it's such a shorter path, but there. Now, the bed is in place. Okay. What is next? Z stepper is installed, A and B steppers are installed. We are going to post-install all of these T-nut or all of these nuts. So I'm not going to worry about any of these. You can choose whether you want them to be pre-installed or to use hex nuts or square nuts. I'm going to use the square nuts on all of these. So I counted, I think there's 93 total needed, and we have 100. So, and we didn't use some in some of those spots. Okay, we put that on. Z stepper's in place. Now we're moving on to the X rail. We're gonna need these and these. Excuse me. Wasn't next to company Steve Jobs standing and got bought from Apple to get him back as CEO? I think so. Hey, Fernando. From Brazil, welcome. Okay, so we have XY joints. These are going to get installed like that with some bearing stacks. So let's collect all of our parts. Let's move the printer off to the side. That's not stable. Let's put it over here. So you have Dennis. Thanks for gifting the memberships. Hey, Kyle. And spacers that I grabbed last time that I didn't need yet. And then a bunch of these parts. That and that. And then we're also going to, for this assembly, need that at some point, X carriage, and the end stop bumper. And we'll need a few of these. I think we'll need 6 of these. Spacers, bearings, okay, heat sets, and some prep on the parts. So I'm gonna go in here and just clean up. Panzerkaden, thanks for being a member for 3 months. Just all these flat surfaces, just a light, light depending on how your print quality was, but these don't need much. I should find a suitable file and get a link for it. I don't even remember where I got these. That one's fine, those are fine. Okay, that should be it. Okay, so these 2 parts get heat sets. 4 of them. Now this one is really close for my tool here, and I end up just touching the plastic piece there, which is kind of annoying. Maybe I'll put it in part way and then go in from an angle to avoid that. There we go, that worked. Charlie loves his pillow. I set that there when I was working from home more because he was constantly bugging me at my desk, and that gave him something to fall asleep on instead of my lap. So he's gotten used to it. That pillow's been there for a very long time. Straight down most of the way, and then push it the rest of the way at an angle. That works. I use needle files or emery boards, nail files. Hobby Lobby sells some interesting sanding discs. I like this because it's rigid. What do I have? I have a bunch of this kind of thing, like nail manicure stuff that works well for various parts. But for this, I like the hard, flat surface. Didn't get that one quite in well, so let's heat it up. Chad, thanks for becoming a member. Okay, that's better. That one was good. Okay. Have you used a pencil soldering iron? Wonder if it would be good to use. I'm not a fan of using like regular tips for this. You can, it works. But if that gets caught in there, I think it would bug me. I like the tips on here because it's a straight square surface. There's no taper to it. So if they made a square like heat set dedicated tip for those pencils or TS100s or whatever, that would be awesome. Hey, Pex Peppers, welcome. Okay, so we are going to build some bearing stacks. So we'll need bearings and washers. Almost all the washers. And some M3 by 25 fasteners, which I don't have out. Those are 16. Here's the 25s. So we're gonna need 4 of these, 4 of those, and then we're also going to need 2 self-tappers at some point for this assembly, so I'll grab those right now. So we were just talking about heat set inserts, and if you have a compatible soldering iron or can get one, the kits come with this. I have a bunch of these now, but the kits come with this little tool for inserting heat sets. It just doesn't work with my iron, so. Okay, where are we at? We need one of these. That is that one. We're gonna start with this one. And a couple of screws. And then this one gets 2 washers. Two washers, a bearing stack, $2 in the US, a cheap $10 off Amazon, works with the tip. Awesome. I've not had to buy one, so I don't have one to link for somebody, but that's good to know. Okay, and then 2 more washers, and then a spacer. And that's one side. Now the other side gets the opposite. So this gets the spacer. And then 2 washers. And then a bearing stack. And then 2 washers. Just like that. Okay. And then the correct bottom piece, that's this guy here, I believe, gets put on there. And we tighten these into those. Is there a reason why the spacers aren't part of the printed part? For printability. There we go. There. That, and then there is a M2 self-tapper that goes in right here. I just used an old cheap iron for heat inserts. I don't think it was necessary to have a heat set jig. Okay, then that just gently screws in there just to hold that together. And that is one XY joint. Everything still moves smoothly. There isn't a way to print these easily, incorporating those spacers into there. So there's that. And now we look at the instructions, and hopefully the other side is this one, and we'll follow that. So 2 more M3 by 25s. And then this one gets a spacer on this side, and 2 washers. Oop, keep dropping it. Bearing stack. And 2 washers. And then this one gets the 2 washers. Bearings. 2 washers. And a spacer. This goes on like that. You hold that together and thread these in. Watching a cat sleep is a lot like watching paint dry. Hey, Bruno. So that is that one, and then kind of shift the parts around, and the screw goes here. There we go. 1 hour till giveaway. We are 1 hour until giveaway. The links are in the description. We're doing 2 Orbiter kits, 1 set of V0 S1 Upgrade parts, and a roll of Polymaker filament. The insert don't follow the hole if it is too hot. Yeah, you want something that you can regulate the temperature on. You do not want to insert these heat sets too hot. Okay, those are built. The little self-tapping screw is in. And now we can install the high-win X-rail. Two orbiter kits for an IDEX? Sure. Okay, so we need the rail that is not tapped on the ends. This one is tapped, so that's not the one we want. That one's tapped as well. Third time and last time. Oh, they're all tapped. Never mind. So if your kit, I forgot that LDO makes it easy. They do as few operations as possible. All of them are going to be tapped. We just need one of these. Might as well grab the one that I already have one of these post-install nuts in. So that, we'll use that on the bottom. Oh, apparently I was playing around with this elsewhere. Let's take that. Yeah, we'll redo that later. Okay, so we're gonna set that as the top. I'm gonna grab the, the nut, the M2 nut bar that LDO includes with these, and the high wind rail. And we want to make sure that it is oriented. We already greased this last stream, remember? We want to make sure this is oriented to where we can read it. Any interest in a heat set press, or is that excessive? A heat set press can be useful. I won't knock it. It's a cool tool, but I don't use them because I feel like it would take more time, and I don't think it would be a big investment or a big advantage for me. Okay, so last time we were talking about these M2 by 8 M2 by 6 or M2 by 8 fasteners, and they have an extra small head on them. We were trying to figure out, I think they're supposed to be for a 1.3 millimeter driver. This was not, according to LDO, they may have to include a different driver because these are supposed to be a different version. Their supplier mixed things up. So the little feedback I gave is that these should be fasteners that use a 1.5 millimeter driver, but they'll probably have to send out some 1.3 millimeter drivers in order to take care of some of them. So just, even when you buy these fasteners from like Amazon or whatever, I've gotten some that use the small driver and some that use 1.5. So just be aware. So these are getting threaded in. We're gonna just leave that without actually centering it or anything. We're gonna put the XY joints on the end before I go any further on this. I'm gonna put one of these tightened just to keep it from sliding around. Since I won last week's V0 parts, I haven't signed for this week. Okay, that's a good idea. So Scott told me a Voron V0 is a must. I'll be building one sometime soon. You should. You should. You build a V0, I'll build a Mercury 1. Deal? The driver that I found, Alan, that works best is my 50,000s driver. The 1.3 was a tight fit. So. Okay. So now we're going to need 2 nuts on either side on the top, and then one I've already put in, one on either side on the bottom. So let's do the whole little post install setup. And the big advantage to these is not necessarily the post install aspect, but that they kind of stay in place. So there's one, and two. I thought the big one on the build service was a mosquito on my screen for a second. Oh, I got a little mite. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? Some little red mite thing. The rain's bringing in all the bugs. There's another one. Spooter alert. What? Oh, spooter. It's spider. Okay, there's one more. Okay. Could you see that little red bug? I know the ants are annoying because I have no food up here, but I've had ants up here for some reason. Not as many today. Okay, now, if this is going like that, this one goes on this side, and this one goes on this side. So now, we put these on the ends, we can start getting things set up. Hold it to be easier, just use an M3 spare to start in the post install to move it into position rather than pliers. Well, depending on how your print settings for that little spacer, it can be kind of hard. On my other V0 I've been working on, it was a little more difficult to put those in. So I don't know, that's the workflow I've set up for myself. What does the Magic High Wind Rail do that is so special here? It's just higher preload and it's a high quality rail where it matters the most. Okay, so that goes there, and where's my mouse? There it is. And then we have, what are these? M3x12s and an M3x6. M3x12s. We'll need 4 of these. Any recommendations for putting the Heart K camera in a solid fork? No, I haven't, I don't know. I would probably put it in the front top extrusion like I do on my Tridents. Is there some other consideration on those that makes it tough? And then in 3x6s. Okay, so I put this in here and I kind of sight down this. I can, oops. Let's move this over. And that goes right there. There we go. Oh, this one's gonna need a different fastener there. Let's just put this for temporarily. Will that even thread in? I don't think so. That one goes there. And then on the underside, get this put in. And I'm not tightening these, I'm just getting them threaded into the... That's weird. That's not an M3x8. Oh, maybe it, or M3x6. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just the head of it is a little large. Yep, there we go. Never mind. Okay, what is this one going to end up being? This fastener here is holding the X end stop bumper, and that is, let's scroll down here. Oh, there we are. It's an M3x16. Okay. Let's find our M3x16s. I know I had one. M3x16. Let's put that on because that'll lock all of that into place. There. Now I'm leaving it loose, but also check your extruder gear alignment and pressure on what? Oh, Darkly Steve. Okay. Dark Sky Steve. Not me. Okay. So this, and now the other side. Line everything up. Ah, wow, those just fell right out. So they're a loose fit on here, which is making it a little, actually a little more tough to use these. Let's see if I can get this in here. Yeah, they're a loose fit. There we go. There. Will not win if you not like. Okay, so that one can go in there. Why is that? I think that one is, the threads might be bad on it. Let me pull this one out. Checking the threads on this nut. Yeah, there. Oh, that cleaned up. It doesn't want to go in right. I got some bad threads either on the nut or on the fastener. Okay, I think I'm just gonna have to be careful. Something was cross-threading. So let's try this again. No. No. Yeah, that's wanting to cross thread. I'm turning the fastener backwards until it drops in. There's a, yeah, I'm gonna swap out that T-nut. Ed Prince, thanks for becoming a member. Yeah, this T-nut has problems, so I'm gonna ditch that one out of the way. First one, it's not too bad. Let's try this one. Move it all the way over. There we go. Let's try this again. Yep. So I had a bum T-nut. Oops. There we go. There we go. Okay. I'm going to be doing my switch wire in the purple mist and galaxy black from Sparta 3D along with purple frame. Awesome. Okay, now we just have the bottom here put in. Shift that into place. Okay, all of these loose so we can shift them around once we get it into the printer. And then I'll also do final tightening of the X rail once we get it into the printer. Hey, Christian. Hi, Steve. Do you ever build a FormBot kit? I have not built a FormBot kit. I've either done self-sourced, many of my printers are self-sourced, or they've traditionally been LDO kits. Okay, so the next step is going to be, so up here, we are putting it into the printer, making sure everything is in the correct spot, and comparing this to that where we're correct. So bearing stacks on the top on the left, on the bottom on the right. Then we're going to put it in the printer with some M2x6 flathead cap screws. Now this is important. These flathead cap screws install flush in the part, which gives enough room for the tool head. So let me clean up my things here a bit. So I need put the washers in their little baggie. I probably should have printed 2 of these hex trays, but that's okay. Okay, so this goes in here, and then this sets on top here. It goes right there. We work with a bunch of FormBot products, and they have always performed nicely. I've heard their kits have improved significantly from when they first released. So I don't have any direct experience with them. Okay, M2 flatheads. Those are probably, where are they? There they are. M2 flathead cap screws. If you just had room for one, would you do a V0.1 micron or a solid port? That's a good question. I have not built a micron yet, although that's in my upcoming projects list. That's a good question. Given all the same build volume, probably a V0. Given the larger build volume, the micron or the solid fork, I'm not going to give a preference to those, especially since I haven't built a micron yet. I mean, if you want my biased opinion, solid fork. That's my biased opinion. Just like I have to say Trident, right? This is a genuine high wind rail. It is supposedly higher preload. Okay. What are these? These are the same tiny 1.3 millimeter. Let's see how well an actual 1.3 millimeter drive fits them. That's a 1.0. Let's do a 1.3. These fit a 1.3 well, so. There we go. These fit a 1.3 well. I am very biased. It's okay. There's 4 of these per side. And they do not over tighten them. Just snug. Like half an ugga-dugga. Like, that's all I'm tightening them. You see my little small driver, just 2 fingers. What do people think about Westerdy's Berserker rails? Not sure who makes them for them. I don't know, I haven't tried them. I've tried LDO rails and I've tried Honey Badger rails, but I have not tried any of the others. And now I'll have some experience with a high wind rail. The Trident is an awesome printer. You've earned the right to be biased. Thank you, Troy. Okay. From what I've seen, many of the kit places, Physetic, Formbot, have all kind of upped their game, but I don't have any experience with them, so I can't recommend them. Can't recommend against them, just. So I switched my V2 to MGN12H. I have a high one on there. I think I got nearly 1,000 hours now. I think it's a bit louder than normal rails because of the higher preload. Okay. Okay, so those are installed, and I'm gonna pull these bumpers off because the stops I had left on there for some reason. And now these have not been tightened, but we're gonna run this back and forth, and then I am going to look at this from the rear and center the extrusion. Center the extrusion, and then we can tighten down these. So there. I'm just gonna, little bits at a time, make sure we stay smooth along the whole, and then we wanna push this against the rear here to de-rack basically, and then we can tighten down the rest of these. And then from the bottom, I'm gonna grab a different driver for this. I have this little set of stubby wearers that friend sent me. This driver is so long, I was concerned with scratching the deck plate. So I'm just gonna set this in here. There we go. How many Ugga-Duggas is a little bit? A fraction of an Ugga-Dugga. Now I can tighten the X-rail, and I want to I do this last so I can center it between the printed parts. There's 1 and 2. The giveaway has not happened. We have another half an hour. A little over half an hour until the giveaway. Links are in the description. So I'm just gonna visualize this and then tighten from the center out. And then the end ones, the plugs can come out, and I can grab fasteners for the ends. That's not the longest driver, no. The longest one is an M2.5. Okay. No binding. Nice. Okay. Yay. Now where are we at? That's done. Put that on, and then there's an M3x16 that goes in from that direction for the end stop. Where is that? Where are the 16s? M3x16. Okay. Any opinion on Kirigami versus the aluminum Fizetic bed versus the regular bed carriage? I have not used the Fizetic bed carriage, so I don't have an opinion on it. I do like the Kirigami setup, and it's going on all of my V0s. So I'm just gonna thread this M3x16 into the end stop. This is my first high wind rail. I have not owned a high wind rail to date. Are those rails super quiet or sound canceling on? Sound canceling. I mean, you really can't hear it either, but it's probably sound canceling. I mean, if I talk quiet, then you might be able to hear something. I don't know. What is special about the Polymaker film heater? It's 100 watts for one, and it has a power supply to go along with it, a bigger power supply. And then it's just directly attached to the aluminum, and there's less, there's no silicone in between it. There's a thinner film. There's a threaded in thermistor that goes, that works well. So the S1 kit includes some optional parts, upgrade parts, but the same design, yes. So it includes the Kirigami bed, it includes the high wind rail, it includes a different tool head PCB combo. There's a board that goes in between the A and B steppers back here, and then an umbilical going to a board on the tool head. Okay, X end stop is threaded in, and we squared the gantry and tightened the screws, and then we have the top rails to put in. Okay, so these guys would get, once again, would get some preloaded nuts in there, but we're not going to. We're going to post install them. Now, I've run into this almost every build where this is quite tight to put in, and we will kind of work this in. If it doesn't, then we can look, are we flush here? We can tweak some of these parts, like we can just loosen this drive. Maybe we didn't get it perfectly flush somewhere. We can push this back a little bit and then put this in. See now it goes in. So then we can tighten the screws we can get to. And then pull it out and tighten the ones that we couldn't get to. See, just, there we go. And then what are those on the ends? M3x10s. Okay, then we're gonna put some M3x10s on the ends. And did I grab those already? No, they are right here. There we go. And then just make sure all of this lines up. And I'm behind. Where am I at? Do you know if the S1 upgrade parts include the bed also? Yes. Gary Taylor, thanks for becoming a member. Most prints are small, so you'd be shocked how useful. Yeah, I absolutely adore my V0s. They get a lot of use. I wouldn't want it to be my only printer either, but okay, so that's one rail, and then let's see how this other one dropped right in. So, but I feel that it's a little far back here. I don't want to tighten these against there because this is along layer lines. I don't want those to crack. So I'm going to loosen this and move it forward just a bit because I can feel it back here a little far that way. And that's better. And then that is a better slide and fit. The front one can move back as well. So I'm going to tighten this one here flush with the back first. Make sure all of this is still square. Is this one silver or space gray? This is space gray. And then this one, move back just a hair. Now that's a much tighter fit. Is the Trident any good? Yes. Charlie Bum. And one more. Nope. Not hitting, oh there. Am I hitting the spot? There we go. The Switchwire is the easiest printer, the easiest Voron to build. Probably followed by Trident. Okay, frame is done. Nice. This is good. Charlie is kind of on the edge of his pillow, isn't he? Reason to tighten the rail from the middle to ends. It's just like any, when you're working on a car, you always tighten like wheels in a star pattern. Head bolts you do in a circular, starting from the center, spiraling out. So yeah, everything is still good. Everything, there's no racking, there's no... What is the hardest Voron to build? Well, Micron's a community mod, so I have no idea how hard it is. We're gonna build one on stream though. But technically the hardest Voron to build, Voron, is the Voron 0. Hey, Lutien. Okay, all of those are done. Now we're on to belts. We are at 11 o'clock. We can get belts done today. We can get belts done today. That's good progress, I think. That space gray really shifts color between silver and dark gray as you move it around. Yeah, and it's my lighting too. My lighting could probably use some improvement. Where are we at? I have a friend looking to build his first Voron and doesn't know which one to go with. He wants either a 2.4 or Trident, but wants whatever would be better for high temp materials. Either, as far as you're talking about capability, high temp materials, be careful they're not looking for like peak and stuff. ABS, polycarbonates, or at least blends. Either Trident or 2.4 will do it. Technically, you should get better chamber temperature performance from a Trident because everything's at the top. And my biased opinion, it suggests a Trident. The hardest talk is interesting because it seems you can build a V0 on half the streams of Trident or V2. Yeah, but the reassembly, paying attention to the manual. This is the 5th one of these I built, not including rebuilds. What was your favorite Voron build? I like the Trident build. Honestly, I like the Trident build. The electronics bay is on the back, yes. It will get a panel back here, and the electronics go back here. Hey, Scott. Okay, belts. We have belts. And we have a belt path, which is a normal Core XY belt path. Let's prepare the X carriage. So we have an X carriage, and we'll need some maker beam style nuts and fasteners. So Trident with some extra insulation on the top panel to keep the heat inside. Sure. So heat sets. Where are we at? 25 minutes. Giveaway links are in the description. Must be present to win, but we draw at a set time. So we are going to, I mean, not that you can see a whole lot here in the, and then 2 in the back here. Yeah. Then I'm gonna do the same trick here. Go in from the side. There we go. I guess I could try that one. It's just not focusing very well, is it? I'll touch the piece right there. Okay. Heat sets in there. I touched it with the side of the iron right there, but that's fine. The rest of it should be good. When the set time, I'm installing the shelves while periodically checking in here, so I don't want to miss it. So you have 22 minutes until the drawing. I think I fixed my Z2 skipping issue. Seems like the rear extrusion on the gantry is very slightly racked, enough to cause skipping, but not enough to notice it when moving by hand. Now left wondering why anyone would build a 2.4 over a Trident. While there are trade-offs, I don't think the 2.4 has a practical advantage. Yeah. Okay. Belts. Oh, and the Maker Beam nuts. Oh, here they are. Here are the Maker Beam style nuts. And there is an extra one, which is nice. There's two, and then we're gonna need M3x8s for that. And what did we say about the install? A belt. This is all just pathing. Run the belts first. Install and tighten the belts prior to fixing the X carriage to the rail cart. Equal belt tension. So let's run a belt and then get the length and cut two belts to the same length like any other Voron. I have one of these ordered, but worried I won't be able to build it now. I wouldn't worry. It's not that bad. We talk about it being the most finicky build, but it's not. I wouldn't worry about it. You'll be fine. Okay, checking the orientation of the gate's lettering because that's important. We want it to read right side up. So I'm gonna start, since this is the piece that I grabbed, I am going to start here. Is this a good enough view? Maybe we zoom out a bit. Here we go. And some tweezers, because that's always useful. There we go. This comes through here, and then around. Oop. Then around the front idler, and then into the stepper drive, work my way around here. Use my tweezers to grab the belt. There we go, around that, across the back. Member for 6 months, Pushing Plastic, thank you. Awkwardly looks at the upside down Gates belts on his V0.1. I mean, it performs better if you have them right side up. Okay, then around the back and into, back to the front. Okay, so this is going to be our belt path. Make sure things, this doesn't have to be perfect at this point. We just want enough belt to work with and not waste a bunch of belt cutting it off, because we're going to end up cutting these flush. So that, everything's on. Let's just go about that much belt. And we're gonna cut this and undo all that hard work so we can cut two of these. Hey, Dark Neutrino. Hubby wants to know, what purple is that parts tray printed in? The parts tray is printed in KVP proper purple. Okay, so we are going to take the belts and line them up and cut them flush on the end. There, so now we have two belts of the same length. We end up with quite a bit of extra belt here. We could probably almost do this twice. Put this back in here, and we're done with the belt. Hey, Crystal Rose. More performance with the letters on the belts right side up. Yes, that is, it's a rule of building that I live by. KVP is right around the corner from my house. Awesome. Okay, so this, we're gonna just do the same thing. I can reach in from the back here to kind of guide the belt forward. Make sure, yep. And then another trick you can do on the drives here is just send this all the way to the top, out the top, and then back in. And then you can just use the loop and push the loop down there. Just push it down, and then you don't have to fiddle with that so much. That one's done. And then all the way around and into here. And that's one belt ran. So now we'll do the opposite, going the other way. Make sure our belts are right side up. We can come in here. Use the tweezers. And we can put a little bend on the end here too. There we go. Pull through here, around the front idler. Just go through here and just go right out the top. Right out the top, back through, and then just push it over the pulley there. Just like that. Now around the other side. And in here, that are both belts ran. We're not worrying too much about having everything lined up yet. Edge of 3D, thanks for gifting the memberships. Where are we at? 15 minutes. 14 minutes. Which way is right side up on vertical belts? Your choice, as long as they're consistent. As long as it's the same on all of them, then it's your choice. Okay. What is going to be the best view here? Let's try this. These belts go through the front of the part, and we're gonna have enough to where we have some room to play. But one of these, I use the soft edge. These are stamped, so I use the soft edge against the belts. And this is probably the most fiddly part of this whole belting setup. But you get your M3x8 in there, and then try to get it threaded into that square nut without the maker beam nut, without cross threading it, and you end up with that. So now we want to make sure that these are, loosen this and pull these to the same, to where they're the same number of teeth are sticking out, and then we can just tighten down this side. And I'm scrolled up on chat, so let me catch up. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. Almost 400 watching. How we have 400 right now. Should the knobs be loose? Yes. Yes. Good call. Good call. So I had put all this together. Let's loosen the knobs. Make sure everything's loose, and then push our steppers all the way to the other direction. I would have gotten there. Now we can push our belts through the other direction. And this is why the extra bit there is so important. Might have to use my tweezers to kind of push the belt in here. John, 6 months. Don't forget to loosen the AB drives. Yep. So this is kind of hard to show, but I'm going to use my tweezers to kind of force this. There we go. Kind of push each tooth through the front of this until I can get enough. I can grab with my pliers and pull that through a bit. There we go. And then the bottom belt. Now, the idea here with the V0 is you need to cut these flush. So what do you do later when you want to redo this? Do you need to replace your belts every time you want to work on your V0? No. You can get enough room to do all this by taking the front idlers off and then put the front idlers on after the X carriage is in place. So Charlie wants out, so let me let him out. Okay, so that is the belts in the carriage. So let's pull those to about the same length and somewhere close to where we're going to end up being. Actually not close, because we want to put that other nut in there. So in 3x8. So if you've already done this and you've cut your belts flush, you can take the front idlers off and give yourself all the room you need to get things set. And then when you tighten these down, you just tighten them down to where they were flush cut last time. And you know you're going to be in the same spot. And then with everything loose, you should have enough room to put those front idlers back into place. Belt length does not change on V0.2. Okay, so that's on. I'm going to loosen this enough to where I can pull on the belts. You probably have to get so somewhere around the center, we are going to pull these where they are the same length, right about there. And that's pretty close to where I want to be. So I'm going to tighten this belt clamp down. Now you can see both of them are in there. Everything's pretty good. As a test, I can tighten down my AB drives and see where I'm at, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm almost at the max of my travel though, so I think I want to pull one more tooth on these. So I'm going to pull one more tooth on the belts. There's one. One on the other. There's one. You can feel it bump when you get that extra tooth. Then we'll tighten it down. Then we can tighten these down and see where we end up. Because I want it to be fairly tensioned at about the middle of the stepper travel, just to give myself the middle end of the stepper travel, just to give myself enough room. Now these are very different, which means I'm probably 1 tooth off in length for this stepper. So the bottom one, I'm gonna pull an extra tooth. When I cut it, I was probably off 1. So the bottom one, I'm gonna pull an extra tooth. There we go. Do what Newton did with his cat and open the door. Yeah. So now with that tightened up and 7 minutes to the drawing, links are in the description. Tighten these up again and see if we end up about the same at, and that feels about the same at about the same adjustment here. So I was off when I cut them by a tooth. Whatever, we can account for it. Hey, Evil. Ooh, my stomach's growling. Okay, I'm feeling pretty comfortable about the belt setup here. So let me just make sure that these are nice and tight and everything is lined up, and I am gonna do it. There is enough belt included in the kit. If I messed up, I can redo it, but there we go. Okay. We have 5 more minutes. We got it belted though. That's a good accomplishment today. I'm gonna screw the carriage to the X carriage to the rail, and then we'll get a drawing going. Charlie coming back in. But a self-service door would reduce engagement. Exactly. Is there a V0 with a bigger build volume? There are community mods for V0 type machines with bigger build volumes. There's the, what do you call it? There's something, I don't remember what it's called. I'm drawing a blank, but there are stuff out there. Will a S1 kit upgrade for the V0.1 or just waiting? It will, all the stuff will work with the V0.2. Is 10 rolls of ABS enough to print a complete Halo Master Chief? I have no idea. Ricky B, you made sure to enter the Polymaker draw, right? Charlie wants out already. What was I? Where was the, oh, here they are. M2x8 button heads, okay. S1 upgrade parts will be available early 2023, okay. Okay, let's put these, let's screw the carriage down. Where's the driver for that? Yeah, printer, Tiny M, thank you. That's what I was drawing a blank on. Tiny M. And there's all kinds of V0 derivatives. Oh, fun. These do not need to be ugga-dugga tight. There, once again, we're fraction of an ugga-dugga. Okay. Now, to de-rack this, we are basically, you see how this side has some play. This one is bottomed, is touched on the B drive. This one is has some play here. If we tighten this, oh, it's the opposite on this because it's in the rear. If we tighten the other side and then replace it, go a little more. See how that's getting less? There we go. Now they move about the same on both sides. And that's how you de-rack the belts on these. So we will touch that again in the next stream. But at this point, I'm gonna get set up for these giveaways. We are 2 minutes away. Last chance, last 2 minutes to get signed up. Links are in the description. M2x6, I'm sorry. M2x6, yeah. I grabbed the right ones, I said the wrong thing. Those are good. So as a last thing, I'm gonna snug up my stepper screws here, just lock all that in. There we go. It's time. Yeah, we are good. Made sure all the belts are sitting good on the pulleys, on the bearing stacks. Yep. The purple is Sparta 3D Sparkle Purple Mist. Oh, okay, stretch. 1 more minute. So must be present to win, must have a valid email address. For the LDO stuff, Jason will contact you. I'll provide your email address to Jason. All the email addresses I collect, I'm gonna purge after 30 days. And the only place that sees them is the winners go to whatever they won. I'm the only other person who sees them, other than that. So. Let's see. We have our wheel of names. And we are time. I am closing the drawings. So I am stopping, no longer accepting responses. Okay, we are going to start with the 2 Orbiter extruders. Actually, let's start with the new thing. Let's start with the Polymaker filament. Let's start there. And if you have a question for me, tag me because I'm dividing my attention right now. So let's do this, and we're gonna create a new create. I can't enter no valid email, Addy. Okay. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, there we go. Here we are. Okay, so this is for a roll of Polymaker filament. There are some exclusions that apply. You can't get their PA12 nylon. You can't get their polycarbonates. The really expensive stuff is excluded, but anything else is fair game, and there's no hardware. So TPUs, PETG, ABS, ASA, PLA, all of those are good. There's some instructions. Well, this is the first one we've done of this on the channel, so let's go here. I just pasted the names. So there we are. So okay, between 1 and 10, how many are we shuffling? How many are we shuffling between 1 and 10? Everyone needs to hit the like button or no giveaway. Like button and subscribe. Yeah, we've got almost 500 people here. 440, we're good. What do we got between 1 and 10? Let's see. I'm seeing lots of 7s. That's probably usual, huh? Let's go 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and spinning. 1 roll of Polymaker filament. And our winner is, and you've got 2 minutes to respond. Nemo Griff, tag me, please. Tag me. And I'm setting a 2-minute timer. Nemo Griff, tag me for your roll of filament. I just set a timer. Are we here? This is the first spin. I'm Nemo Griff, and so's my wife. Congratulations, Nemo, but you gotta tag me. I gotta see ya. Or somebody has to see ya. Gotta respond in chat. What do we got? I'm keeping an eye on. Nemo Griff? Finding Nemo, exactly. Nemo Griff. We got 1 minute. I think the 2-minute timer seems reasonable, right? Somebody will see him. If you're here. Nemo, but not Nero. So we will be doing the spool thing like some of the other streamers, every spool. Now, if somebody sees, I mean, if you just chat, and it's just, if you tag me, then it's easier for me to see. That's not required that you tag me. You just have to chat. We got to see it. But every stream we'll be doing this. So, 1 spool every stream. Okay, I don't think they're here. So, we are 5 seconds away. I am going to grab this just for, oh. There we go. Time's up. Let me grab this just to remind me who would have had it. And we are going to shuffle twice and spin again. Okay. For the second person, the second try, we have Alan Bretson. Alan Bretson, are you here? Yep, sorry. We gotta, oh, and we're starting the timer. Alan Bretson. Do we got an Alan Bretson? No Nemo. We couldn't find Nemo. Is Alan Bretson taggable? Alan. Oh, the timer's set. Yeah. Is this Alan B? Alan Bretson? It helps if you use your, so this for future giveaways, make sure you're using what shows up in so this is not the Alan B. Thank you, Alan B, for letting me know that. That is very kind. Alan Bretson is here. I see ya. Awesome. Okay. Let me grab this. Alan Bretson, congratulations. You have won a spool of Polymaker filament. I will send you an email. And let me make sure I've got a, oh, that's funny. I paste, this is hilarious. because I clicked a random spot in the spreadsheet and pasted that name on the line that is for Alan Bratson. When would that happen? You entered late too, huh? Awesome. Okay, congratulations. Let's move on. So we have, let's clear the list. We have 2 Orbiter kits. And Jaeger, thank you for gifting the membership. Oop, that was the timer. And did I miss a member? Oh, I already caught chat. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 Orbiter kits we are giving away. Let me export these. Yep, we are good. So let me create this. So 2 Orbiter kits. We're going to draw 2. So we will draw 1 and then very shortly after draw the second one, just to save some time. But where did that? Oh, there we are. Okay. We have responses here. How much time did you spend pulling that hat on Charlie's pick, including adding the drop shadow? I spent about half a minute. It was some icon that I just kind of stretched around until it looked like it fit his head. I don't even remember where I got it. Okay, let me get this. Get this copied and pasted. Okay, paste. Let that process. Okay, let's do the number between 1 and 5. Number between 1 and 5 for shuffling this. Nemo was here. I'm sorry, Nemo. I'll be doing one of those every stream though, so come back. Okay, this is 2 Orbiter kits between 1 and 5. 4.5, I can't do a half a spin. I'm seeing lots of 3s. Let's go with 3. 1, 2, 3, and spin. Engagement. Okay, first one goes to Stefan Petkovic. 2-minute timer. Stefan, are you here? Stefan. Let me copy this and paste it here so I... Okay. Stefan, are you here? Stefan, tag me or someone tag me if you see them. Stefan Petkovic. And we'll give about another... Oh, there you are. Awesome. Congratulations, Stefan. Let me cancel that timer. And let's do another number between 1 and 5. Congratulations, Stefan. This is Orbiter Extruder Kit number 2. Awesome, awesome. Between 1 and 5 again. Thanks, Scott. You've been a member for 3 months. That's awesome. Nah, let's just go 2. Let's keep it easy. Let's go 2. It's 1 and 2. Hey, I saw your name, Poity. For kit number 2. Where are we at? Narak! Congratulations, Narak. Are you here? Timer started. So this is Orbiter Kit number 2, Narak. Aaron, thank you for becoming a member. Narak. Orbiter Kit number 2, Narak. And Stefan, I found your email address. I like to confirm. I like to confirm that the emails are in there before we move too far. Narak. You got another minute and change. There you are. Awesome. Congratulations, Narak. Let me... find an email. There's your email. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, let me set up for the last giveaway, which is the collection of V0 S1 parts. And Charlie is coming to say hi. So last. This should be, yep. Create. Linking to spreadsheet. Okay. Do you play the BG music from your laptop speakers? I do. Does it cause a problem? Oh, there's Charlie. Oh. I keep forgetting to turn that off. Is the music being played on my speakers being a problem? I don't have to worry about headphones dying at that point if I do that. Sometimes when you speak and the snares hit, I can hear the double snares. Oh, okay. I see. I am playing it a little louder than I normally do. Okay, let's paste in the entries for here. They are pasting. At least they should be pasting. Why is that taking so long? Oh, there they are. Okay. Whew. I almost pasted again. Okay, so this is the bigger one. So let's go between 7 and 18. Number between 7 and 18. Was wondering if I had the stream open twice or screwed up my audio routing somehow. Oh yeah, I've got the music going a little louder than normal, I think. Between 7 and 18. 18 minus 7 is 11. I like that logic. 11. So we're gonna go 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And spin for the S0 upgrade parts. What are we at on viewers? We're at 450, maybe? Awesome. Mike Mayer. Mike Mayer, are you here? I am starting the timer. Mike Mayer. This is the collection of S0 upgrade parts, which includes the Highwind linear rail, the Pico-Bilical controller, the polyamide heater, and a Kirigami bed. Mike Mayer, tag me or someone let me know if we see them. Mike Mayer. Not taggable, but we know that doesn't necessarily matter. You got a minute and change to show up, Mike. Minute and change. Hi, Mike. He's here, where? There you are. Congratulations, Mike. You have won the collection of S1 upgrade parts. Let me copy that and paste that there. And let's make sure. Mike Mayer, I have an email for you. Awesome. Yep, congratulations. Wait, are you continuing the stream after this? We are wrapping up. The stream is ending at noon or a couple of minutes before that. Let's talk about what's coming up next while I set Charlie down. So, okay, Charlie, you gotta go down. Oop. Okay. So, congratulations to the winners. That's a lot of fun. I have a good time with that. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, LDO. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Polymaker, for allowing me to do that. That is a lot of fun. Here, let's go this view. So, huge thank you. The LDO parts winners, you will get emails from Jason. The Polymaker filament winner, you will get an email from me. So, congratulations, Mike. That's awesome. NH3D Canada, member for 7 months. Awesome. Thanks for the great content. V0.2 when? Soon. Soon. So when it does release, we will do an upgrade on one of my V0s. It might be this one, it might be the blue one. We shall see. But yeah, so we made a lot of progress here today. I'm glad to have had it belted. Next weekend is going to be a long stream because I would like to finish this printer and get it printing in the next stream, which means if we are able to do that, next stream we'll be giving away a roll of Polymaker filament, 2 orbiter extruders, and a V0 S1 kit. So, yeah. And then hopefully the following weekend is Christmas, which I won't be streaming that weekend. And then we'll be back on the Tridex build New Year's Day. I'm not going to skip two weekends in a row of streaming. So whoever can show up on New Year's Day, we'll be working on Tridex. Member stream for December is going to be this coming Saturday. I have a good idea of what we're doing. To be determined if something arrives in time for that to happen. Otherwise, I'll come up with a backup plan. So, where are we at? I want to spool a Polymaker on Nick's stream, but you can't decide which to get. Yeah. When's the next stream? Next Sunday. So the next build stream for this is next Sunday, my normal time. So this was change time today to accommodate another thing going on. Next weekend I'll be back to my 10 a.m. Pacific start time. So, are you a part of the stream at 12? Maybe if I decide to be. What about the Tribent? I haven't gotten back to that. I need to build a different trident before I dig into the Tribent. Does Charlie climb your Christmas tree? We always leave town for Christmas, so we don't usually put up a tree. So about time you did a Voron t-shirt giveaway. I need a Voron t-shirt to give away. Bruno, Saturday will be at my normal time just on Saturday. So it'll be 10 a.m. Pacific, which is what, GMT -8? So there is a event going on for the by the vendors for the Voron owners. So that's what's going on at noon. So yeah. So there's not anything else we can finish up here. So or we can make progress on that isn't going to take time. Next is going to be building the mini afterburner and putting the bed stuff together, putting in the electronics and the wiring. It's going to be a long stream, but we need to get it done. You're wearing one, give away the one I'm wearing. Did I make an enclosure for the laser? Not yet. Not yet. Does the S1 kit include all the parts for a complete build or just the upgrades? No, the S1 kit that I gave away is some of the upgrade parts. Next week, if we finish this build, it will be giving away an entire S1 kit. Martin, thanks for becoming a member. Where do you go to view the Voron owner stream? You check the links on the Discord. Check the channels on the Discord. See ya, Kyle. So, with that, I think I will give myself a few minutes in between and wish you all a good rest of the day, rest of the week. Thanks again to LDO for this. Thanks for everybody who gifted memberships, became members. Thanks to Polymaker for the new giveaway that we'll be doing every stream. And we will see you next weekend. Have a good one. Take care, everyone. Bye.